Hello everyone, and welcome back to Bebop Banter, the internet's premier anime podcast. My name is Wes, and I'm joined by a bunch of people, starting off with the usual suspects, Demetrius.
Hey.
And Saeed.
Howdy.
But you know what, guys? We accidentally decided to pay for the next tier up in this podcast program, which means, oh man, our bank accounts are that much lower, but we get a
cool
special
music.
guest. We get cool music. We get cool keys. So expect some fun effects from us while we have this going. But I guess another great side effect is we get to have guests now. So everyone say hello to our buddy. It was his first time at Otakon. He's going to share his experiences with us in a little bit. Mr. Brett.
Boys, what's going on? Thanks for having me.
There we go. Great to have you. So, like I kind of hinted, good old listeners out there, good old people of the Bebop Banter and Backlog Bebop, we will be discussing our Otakon 2019 experiences, as well as kind of how they stacked up to previous Otakons, and what a first anime convention was like, courtesy of our guest Brett. So, we hinted at it when we did our last kind of preparing for Otakon podcast. So it's time to dive into it. So Brett, why don't we just jump right into it with kind of what you thought Otakon was going to be like, what it was like, and then favorite parts, and then we'll all just kind of go and give our favorite parts.
Well, so I listened to the podcast that you guys put up 2 weeks ago, and I was just like, all right, I'm going to listen to this, but I don't want to have any expectations. I want to go into it just whatever it is what it is. Now, of course, that's like impossible, but boys, I was blown away. Like, yeah. I know I've already told Wes, like, I'm all in, dude. Otakon is awesome. I say Cosmocon because I'm already hyped for that in February. Yeah. But man, it's hard to pick like a favorite thing because there's just so much fun to do. I mean, like, when we started with Bradio, I was like, how is it going to get any better than this? Mm-hmm. That concert was unbelievable.
Oh, yeah. So for the listeners out there, we said it again in our first podcast, but we ended up seeing Bradio live in concert. We all had VIP. Fantastic live show. First in line to get pictures with him.
Yeah, got to meet him. Got some pictures.
We're in the back of the line, but then we're in the front of the line. We were behind everybody. And then they came up behind everybody.
Can't stop, won't stop. They've done anime intros for Death Parade, and they did one more that I haven't actually seen the series, but the song seemed dope, so maybe I'll check it out. Some sort of alien hotel,
really good,
or something along
those
lines.
That's a good song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Bradio, great. What other things were there?
Oh, man, let me tell you, the dealer room is the most overwhelming thing I've ever been involved with. When we got to the escalator to get down there, and you can kind of look over the entire floor, and I looked over and I was like, oh man, this is unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot.
It's like almost like too much to take in.
It takes probably does take about the full 3 days to see everything in the dealer's room.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because sometimes you come back the next day, there's stuff that wasn't there the last day and stuff like that.
Especially on like a Saturday.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, when everyone thinks everything's set up on Saturday. I know personally, Sunday I found something that I didn't see, and I had to pick it up. But we'll leave that story for a little later in the podcast.
Well, that was like the thing. So like we had gotten there, I don't know, probably like 1 or 2 o'clock on Friday, and we had time to kill before the Bradio concert. So we just went to the dealer room, and I remember Wes saying to me like, "Yeah, hey, like this isn't even everything that's going to be here tomorrow." I was like, that doesn't even make sense.
And what's kind of crazy, I don't know if Saeed and Demetrius, I don't know if you guys saw it, but I think partially because of Comic-Con being the immediate week before, there were a lot of booths that normally are there that weren't there. Yeah. Like Bluefin Tamashii Nation that does all the Gundam, a lot of the Dragon Ball Z, that's some Kingdom Hearts, that type of deal. Their whole booth wasn't there. Maybe because they have their own expo, Crunchyroll wasn't there.
Yeah, I was wondering, because every year before, Crunchyroll's been there, but I guess they do have their own.
I think Crunchyroll was missing last year, too.
Yeah, they weren't there. And I think that coincides with them having Crunchyroll Expo in LA.
Yeah.
But yeah, there were there were a lot of places and a lot of groups that normally are there that weren't there, but it was still a lot. It was still a lot.
I did see. Did you mention the thing on Twitter that confirmed your suspicion?
Which thing? Which thing on Twitter?
The fact that San Diego Comic Con was 2 weeks before Otakon. That's the reason why a bunch of those people weren't there. Otakon confirmed.
It makes sense. I mean, it wasn't early Otakon. This year. Normally it's in August.
It's supposed to be this weekend. If do it like last year.
But there was still a lot of people at this Otakon.
There was a lot.
It felt even more crowded.
It did. It really did.
Definitely. How did you take all the cosplay and everything in, Brett?
Dude, I loved it. Obviously I had seen about it, but I've never actually been in a place where people were like actually cosplaying. And honestly, like, respect to them. The amount of work that you have to put in to get ready for that, dude, it must be so insane. And some of these people, they just look like they straight from the anime. It's awesome.
Yeah, and it's so hot. It was pretty hot.
It was really hot.
So props to all of them for duking it out, for beating the heat, for everyone to be able to enjoy. Do you have any other thoughts that you want to give on your first Otakon experience?
I hope you like walking. I know you tried to like give us a warning like ahead of time, but I was just like, yeah, whatever. It's gonna be a little bit of walking. Oh no. It is so much walking.
It was.
So if you ever plan on a con visit in the future, man, get your comfy shoes out.
What was it, Saeed? I know we were tracking it.
30,000 steps Saturday.
30,000 steps Saturday, like 20,000-ish on Friday, and then we were only there for a little bit on Sunday.
Half the day on Sunday, and it was over 10,000. It was like 15,000 or something.
It's over 9,000.
That's not even counting.
Yeah. And you know what's crazy? I think we walked less than we usually did.
Yeah.
I know I did, which is crazy because usually we wouldn't track it.
A lot of the times, too, we got lost looking for certain restaurants or other people. Yeah. I'm talking in years past. Yeah. Where certain people would find restaurants and be like, "Oh, this is a good idea," and then we would find it in some back alley or something, or it would just be we didn't adventure out from the convention as much as what
it's true. It's true.
Right.
But yeah.
And having that hotel, Brett, don't you think that was a good idea, having the hotel closer to the center?
Yeah, so that's closer than where you guys normally stay, right?
Yeah. We might try to get that hotel.
Yeah, that's unreal. And I don't know what the price difference is between the two that you guys normally do, but like I thought it was fair for how close we were to the convention center.
Oh, and Saeed, because you're normally the one that helps book. It was about the same, right?
It was exactly the same, actually. I looked at my statement from last year. It was exactly the same.
Yeah, shout out to the Grand Hyatt.
Beautiful place.
Awesome hotel.
But if you want to get even closer to the center, like right next to it, like the Marriott that's connected to it, it's
I would like personally 900? Advise against that because I always see the line coming in, and it looks congested.
Oh my god! Yeah,
and it's expensive.
Grand Hyatt was perfect.
Plus, I feel like having a hotel that's still kind of disconnected from the general area of the convention can give you a good break.
Yeah, you can breathe in the town too, the city that you're
instead of breathing in that BO.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that's another thing I want to touch on. I didn't think that was an issue. Not the way you guys like made it sound in the preview podcast. I don't think I had a single issue with someone smelling like BL the entire weekend.
It was definitely cleaner, but let me tell you about the dude standing next to the audio console.
Oh, you did say that.
Oh my god. I wanted to die.
There was someone next to Alicia and Amonit, and this dude, he was funky. He was a funky party people, but he was like funky party people.
Oh man. I mean, maybe people listened, and I know I went onto Twitter before Otakon, and Otakon put like what would your advice to a first convention goer be? And the most common comment was wear deodorant and take a shower. So we're fighting the good fight. We're getting it out there.
Maybe because we're on the move a lot too.
And we had a bigger group too, so like maybe it was kind of some people got it and some people didn't.
Because I know, touching on that bigger group, normally we have a group of, would you say like 4 to 5 or 4 to 6?
4 to 5.
4 to 5. This year, Brett as one of my friends, and
My
now
friend.
everybody's friend. You are my friend. Him, and then a few other friends all joined in for our first Otakon, or their first Otakon experience. So they had, yeah, it was really fun. We had a pretty big group. So I would say majority of the convention, like we did hang out a lot as a bigger group, but we also kind of split up, where some people were just walking and buying and sightseeing while others were waiting in line for panels and stuff. So I know, Brett, you were saying that for Katsucon, because we are planning on doing a Katsucon trip, that panels would be something you'd be super interested in starting to go to.
Yeah, well, as much as I loved walking around and seeing the dealer room, like, I feel like outside of the concert, that's mainly what we did. Like, we explored the dealer room, we explored the artist alley, but, like, that was it. And I think it would have been nice to get immersed in some of the other stuff, gain some other knowledge outside of just seeing all the cool things that were for sale.
That's very true.
Yeah, because I would say that definitely, like, the dealer's room and the artist alley is the best way to get immersed into the culture, or just like the feel, the vibe of it. But yeah, like you said, some panels and that type of thing where you really get to hear other people's opinions.
We didn't do any panels.
Did we? Yeah, it might have been the first year we didn't do any panels. I will say, though, I tried to look at the 18 and up panel listing, and there really wasn't much. Like, we've been to some good adult panels that were not adult, like dirty hentai type of stuff, but just foul language, a little edgier, riskier comedy. We've been to some good
ones. Objects were in the room.
Certain objects getting passed around like a hot potato to the Attack on Titan theme song. Certain voice actor of Saitama and Moomin Rider reading fanfics of their two characters out.
Oh yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah. So more panels will be something that we keep in mind for Katsucon, and everyone can look forward to.
Katsucon's a different vibe. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's really
I was like, I think it's fair to say that most cons probably have their own culture and vibe.
Yeah, Katsucon's a lot of cosplay.
The dealer rooms and stuff kind of are similar. The vibes, at least, in the dealer rooms and the artist alleys, but the area in which the con's in is
National Harbor. So before we move on, just everyone thinking about wanting to go to a convention, getting hyped up from listening to this in our last convention podcast. If you're on the East Coast, Katsucon, National Harbor, it's normally in February. We'll have to look up the actual dates. We can give updates on that. But Saeed and I went last year, and one of our friends, on a whim,
literally the weekend before, I saw on Instagram a cosplayer was going. I was like, oh, it's next week. And I asked the group chat, hey, you want to go? And then it just happened.
Yeah, yep. So it's there. It's fairly reasonably priced. It's in a really nice area, so
it's cheaper.
We'll update people. Yeah. Oh, definitely cheaper. We'll update. But now that we've heard kind of Brett's first thoughts, anyone else want to jump in with things that they liked about this Otakon or things that were kind of different?
Okay, I can go first. So this Otakon, of course, we had a bigger group, whole new experience. We had 4 new con goers, so they were all immersed and surprised with everything. We had always a shout out to American dub or English dub Kakashi. That was cool. And
that was a good one.
That was a good one. I think it was just a good experience to be kind of re-exposed to the new fresh eyes, you could say. And I like the concerts a lot. Bradio was insane. I didn't expect to like the tribute to Nujabes as much as I did, but it started slow and it ended really, really strong. And got some good Mimi merch. Met her, took some pictures. Shout out to Mimi. Very cool person, very honest, very earnest. We also met the performers of the tribute to Nujabi. So we met Shingo 2, IQ, and a couple other people that were performing. It was really cool. I don't know his name, but the guy that did the Boondocks opening theme, he performed at the tribute to Nujabes, and that was insane. And then, of course, the dealer's room, the artist alley. 2 of my younger brothers actually showed up on a whim. So I showed them around. It was just a really cool time to see the good friends again and show a lot of people what it is, what the good word is on anime.
Oh wait, before we move on, Demetrius, are we gonna tell a story about getting some?
Okay, all right. So
was that gonna happen? I'm not gonna. You were hyping it up.
So we're gonna talk about this real quick. So after we go to the concert and everybody's leave, we had preferred tickets. So we weren't VIP, but we were relatively close to the stage because of, I don't know, the way we had it was great. We get out, there's this huge, huge line for merch. We walk outside of the line because we're like, we're not going to buy any merch. And we get to the closer to it and we see like, oh, this is actually really cool. So a good friend of ours, we'll just say his name, Amonit. Amonit decides, hey, we're already up here. We can just sneak in. So we literally cut a full line of people. Security doesn't even care. We cut the full line and then we start looking at the merch. We buy some of it. And I don't know what to call them, so I'm going to call them Mean Me Roadies. And, they're helping with the show and things like that. And they're like, hey, if you get a shirt and a towel, you can get a ticket and you can take a picture with Mimi tomorrow. So we're like, oh, that's cool. And Mana was really into it. He's like, oh, I could really get behind this. Demetrius, are you in? Adil, are you in? And I was like, well, I don't know. The shirt's really cool. And then Amana kind of just gets closer and is like, nah, you should get this towel. Like, we should all just get the towel and then then we could all take a picture together. And I was like, I don't know. And he's like, all right, well, if you don't want to do it, that's fine. Me and Adil are just gonna go buy it. Yeah. And I was like, the art of peer pressure. So I bought it. And then we spent all of Saturday like, okay, we got to get these, got to go see Mimi to get the pictures. And then I guess the people told us the wrong time. So when we get over there, we're like, hey, we're here to see her. And they're like, she doesn't show up for like another 2 hours. So we're like, okay, that's fine. Why did they tell us the wrong time? So Amonit, the guy who's enabling everybody else, starts panicking. Like, are we even going to get the pictures? Like, did we just get screwed? And I'm like, oh no, please tell me I didn't just pay an extra $27 just so you can start freaking out. And eventually she does come, and then we had to explain it to the people, and they're like, oh yeah, that's what we plan to do. And we got the picture. And she was super great, super nice. But Amonit the enabler, good guy, great friend, but sometimes, man.
Funny thing is though, I didn't watch the New Jobbies tribute concert.
I was just about to say.
I didn't buy any of the merch. I was just hanging out with Wes and Brett and the other group. Demetrius or Amonit hit the group chat and was like, say, just come in line. I just walked in.
Yo, hold on.
The whole time I was in line.
Yo, hold on.
So I'm pretty sure they're going to kick me out.
So when Saeed came and he hit the group chat, we saw him walking up. First he was lost and then he saw us. The people asked him, they stopped him at the gate and were like, who are you here to see? And he's like,
Oh, yeah. I think her name starts with an M. And then they pointed me to their line, and then I just cut other people in line too.
The line was super
to get to where they were at. Yeah, but I didn't need a ticket. I didn't need any of the towels. I got a picture with her too because it was like a one big group. It's pretty cool.
Let me talk about enabling real quick because Brett was there, Saeed was there, Sunday. Thankfully, Demetrius wasn't there. Although maybe if he was, he would have set me straight. Even though I do not.
I could have saved you.
You could have saved my wallet. The music. Okay, so I would think that amongst our group, I'm not trying to flex because this isn't good. I tend to spend the most money on merch.
just
a little.
just a little. So
I might have spent the most this weekend though, actually, or that weekend.
So this is
complicated.
This is yeah. So yeah. I went into this Otakon with a list of things that I wanted to purchase. This is my story of my favorite thing about Otakon, also my least favorite thing about Otakon. And if you want to see some of these things I'm about to list off, we've been posting pictures recently, and they should all already be posted by the time this is up.
Let's go through that list real quick. First day of stuff that I got. Yeah. So I walk in, and my list is like Pokemon Blue version in Japanese because I have red and green already. I wanted this very specific Broly figure, the OG Broly, not the Dragon Ball Super Broly figure. I wanted some art. I wanted this Dragon Ball era Goku carrying this milk carton from when he was training with Master Roshi.
Mega Milk.
With a turtle shell on. Ooh, Mega Milk. One of these days I'll hit the Faku booth and snag one of them. Snag one of the shirts. And I wanted some sort of Dragon Quest thing. And I wanted this. I played this mobile game. Shout out to Psy Games and Dragalia Lost. I wanted an acrylic stand of the main dragon. So I had my list. Very first thing I did. Oh, and I wanted a Seto Kaiba Figma that I ended up not getting because it was $100. But don't worry, dear listeners. Something else replaced that on the last day that was more expensive than that. So I went in and I really, really wanted to get this Dragalia Lost acrylic stand of the main dragon Midgard Stormer to the point where I told these guys, let's get there a little bit earlier because I don't know how limited it's going to be because I had seen on the Reddit at other conventions they were running out. So we get there and the line was crazy long. So I pretty much said, like, that's not going to happen. I wiped that off my list decidedly. Went to another booth, found the Goku, no problem. Eventually find this Dragon Quest slime lamp that was really dope that I wanted to get. Went down the list. Found pretty much everything. Found the Kaiba Figma that was $100. And decided, like, I have other Figma. I would not pay $100 for a Figma because while they are cool, I don't think they're worth that much for what you get.
What is a Figma?
Okay, so there's a company called Good Smile Company. They normally are there too, and there were a lot of official Good Smile Company booths. But a Figma is pretty much a smaller posable figure of a anime character, video game character, whatever. They have some Figma that are like Marvel, that type of deal. They're made of really high quality plastics and rubbers. They come with a whole lot of accessories. Like I have the Figma of Joker from Persona 5, and it's amazing. It's one of my favorite figures to pose, that type of deal. But they tend to run anywhere from $50 to $60. If you go to a Target, you might see some Overwatch Figma or some Nendoroids from Overwatch because they have that company too. That company has that toy line too. They're kind of a chibi figure toy line.
I kept hearing Figma, and I started thinking of Ligma. So I was
yeah, Ligma. It's funny, Brett. Was it Turek? One of our buddies, Turek, who was the American dub Kakashi. Every time we saw a Figma, he'd be like, Figma.
Oh yeah, that was all over Snapchat and everything, dude. We didn't hear the end of that joke.
Yeah, that was constant. But I really like Kaiba. I have a Blue Eyes White Dragon deck that I paid a decent sum of money for. He's my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh character. Screw the rules, he has money. That ended up getting wiped off the list. Pretty much last day of Saturday, I'm walking around and I see the Broly figure I want for $110. And I was like, okay, that's my big piece. It was in a huge, like, gigantic box. Once I buy this, I'm done. Bought that.
Famous last words.
famous last words of me at a convention. Because we went to the artist alley later, and I was like, Saeed, make sure I only buy one piece of art. And this man was like, okay, I got you. And I got my piece of art I wanted, which is a picture of Guts and Griffith from Berserk.
Yeah.
From Baimon Art. Baimon Art. I know this because I picked up a card from them. Follow them on Instagram and stuff. Shout out. I was like, okay, this is it. And then I walked past this other stand that had a keychain of the AE86 Sprinter True I from Initial D, my personal favorite anime. And I was like, man, I just bought this piece of art. And this man, Saeed, my whole story is just people enabling me. This man, Saeed, is like, well, you should probably buy it because it's not art.
Yo.
It's a keychain.
Yeah, you could
I love the loophole.
you could have found it in the dealer room because they sell keychains at the dealer room. Handmade keychain.
So I was like, okay, I was like, okay, I drive a BRZ. It's tuned up. I kind of base it off of some initial D references. So I was like, okay, I can put it on my car key. It makes sense. Well, when I had that in my mind, I was walking down the dealer room the next day because this was all on Friday. Mind you, I pretty much cleared out my list on Friday with a little bit on Saturday. So like Saeed said one day, with that mindset, Saeed in my mind, even though he wasn't there physically, whispering in my ear, it's not art. I also bought an acrylic pin of my favorite character from Dragalia Lost. I don't know what booth that was. I really love the pin. It's really dope. Shout out. But the main enabling story I have, see, this is just me. This is just people telling me to spend money.
Dude, the art
my
of peer
weak will
pressure,
being
super
like,
strong.
okay, peer pressure. It's tough. Stay strong out there, fans. Because on the last day, Sunday, very last day at Otakon, I walked in and one of our friends, Mike Pop, shout out to you, TYFYS. This man was like, because he kind of went hard too on figures.
He went in. I couldn't.
He
thought he was gonna go in.
Yeah, he bought a lot of stuff. He walked in on the last day and was like, okay, I want to buy maybe like one more figure. So I was like, okay, I don't really want to go back in the dealer's room, but there's nothing else I really want. So we'll just see whatever you have. Well, a perfect storm, one might say. Our buddy Amonit was in I forget what booth it was. It's in the industry area. It's an actual store in Japan. And
oh wait, is it something with a K?
It might be. We'll think on it and we'll get back to you. We'll get back to you guys if we can figure it out. But he's in there, and I remember last year I had a stronger will. Otakon 2018, I had a stronger will. I walked in and I saw an art print from Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann, which one of my favorite anime of all time. Again, it is amazing. Fight the power, pierce the heavens, and I saw this art print last year, and I was like, I really, really want this, and it's signed and everything from either the lead animator or the director of the series. I have to double check. And it came in a frame, and it has a gold plaque on the really nice wood frame, and the glass is like UV protectant. This is me, as you can probably tell, trying to justify this purchase. So last year I was like, I already spent too much money. I'm not going to buy it. This year, I walk in and I see one up there, and a lot of people are looking at it, and Amonit goes up to it, this man, and he's like, man, that's really nice. And right next to it, there's a Ghost in the Shell art print. And this man is like, okay, I want this Ghost in the Shell art print. I'm going to buy it. And he starts already trying to find someone to get it off. And I was like, well, if he's getting it, like, maybe I should get this too, just because, like, this might be my chance to get it. So I find someone, they give me the piece of art, and I turn around, and this man is like, I decided not to get it.
Did he buy anything all weekend?
I don't know if he bought anything all weekend, but let me tell you,
did he really do that?
Yeah.
Oh, that is.
He was like looking at it. He was like looking at it and was like, I really want to get this. And then he went to go find someone, like I said. And then I went back after I'd purchased the Gurren Lagann thing, and he was like, yeah, I decided not to get it. It was $150.
That's for the big
That was.
That I can see it. I can see it because I can tell it really happened. Because you have to know him.
But I wasn't blown. I wasn't blown at all. I was hyped up about it. I was big hyped up about it in the moment. I'm still happy I got it, but Brett was there, and he posted on my Facebook picture of all the stuff. This man was like, Wes, I'm done spending money. Also, Wes drops $150 on an art print on the last day.
Well, because on Sunday, I feel like we all went, like we were all together, but we all kind of just split up, found the last odds and things we wanted to find. I remember you saying Friday that, like, all right, I've gotten just about everything off my list done.
Which normally doesn't happen.
Yeah, which is great. Except for when you find a $150 print on the last day. And I just remember seeing Wes a half hour after we just split up. I was like, oh, dude, you got a bag. What'd you find? He's like, oh, it was just a $150 print. And I was like, boy!
It's a big bag, too. It was a really big bag. It was a badge of both honor and shame.
It's like, I thought we talked about this, and then Saeed's like, it's not art.
He's in the back. Saeed's like, it has a frame. think of how much it would cost to come with the frame.
It's
you're right.
it's
You're right.
decor.
You're right.
It's decor. It's not art. It's decor.
Hey, but I actually hung it up now.
Good.
Unlike certain people's art.
Ooh.
But so yeah, that's my story. Pretty much, I spent way too much money at Otakon. Had a great time doing it.
Here's the thing. It sounds like Amana is the root to everyone's evil. Because I remember on Sunday, like, I was really not supposed to be spending money. But we were at that booth with the mystery bags.
Oh,
and I was like, I don't really think I should do this. And even Wes was like, yeah, dude, the mystery bags really aren't that good. Like, you don't really know what you're going to get. And Amana's out here like, well, do you really want it? Kinda. I was like, then you should get it. I was like, dude. All right, well, and then sure enough, I did it.
Brett was sitting there. He was like, man, I really want the My Hero one or the Naruto one or something, but it might be a little too much. And Amon rolls up out of nowhere, and he's like, yo, if it's something that you feel like you really, really want to get, it's the last day. Just get it.
Just like whispering in people's ears, like, hey, you should get this.
I'm actually wondering if he got anything.
He bought the Minmi merch.
He did. He did.
Oh yeah,
right.
He bought the.
Unless he hoodwinked you guys and ended up.
No, he bought the towel. I watched him pay for it.
Somehow, only Demetrius bought the ticket.
Great guy. One of a really good friend.
Yeah.
But he's really good at peer pressure, and just like the way, it's hard to describe. Like the way he does things is, like even when we went to Pie for the pizza. Yeah. And he was trying to explain how it'd be cheaper if we split it up. And I was like, dude, I really want this pizza to eat myself. And luckily, even if I was hangry, I was like, it's just going to be me and Alicia. Don't.
That was some really good pizza, though.
Yo, the deep dish is where it's at for there. But Saeed, what is your weekend experience?
What is your proud purchase?
Okay.
Oh, proud purchase.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
It was an eventful one for you.
Oh yeah, it was. My favorite part.
I know.
My favorite part about the entire convention was on the first day. It was me finally being able to buy a Charizard onesie I've been wanting for like 4 or 5 years. Every convention we've been going to, I've been like, if I see one, I'm going to buy one, and there's never one. And this one, the first day, like I think it was like 10-15 minutes in.
Yep.
Find one. It was the last one too.
Oh wow.
Dude, the look on this man's face when he turned around with this onesie after buying it, pure elation.
The selfies?
I've never seen.
The selfies.
Oh. The mirror selfies.
He's already planning on wearing it around KatsuCon because it's about to be cold.
Sure. Yeah, it's colder there. I'm going to wear it. Yeah.
If I was to summarize Otakon 2019 in one phrase, it would just be Saeed's face after he bought the Charizard.
I do wish I had a picture of that. And you got a new son too.
Oh yeah, I bought my last son.
You know, that still sounds weird. Just a little.
He bought his last child.
My first son,
some street peddler.
Yeah, first son I bought about 3 years ago was Charmander. I bought my Bulbasaur. He was born in KatsuCon, I think.
Yes.
And Squirtle was born in 2019 Otakon.
Did you call him Bulbasaur or Bulbasaur?
Oh.
Ooh. Nickname.
Stick a straw in that bulb. See what comes out, baby.
That sounds like child abuse.
But surprisingly, those are the only 2 things I bought. The onesie was kind of expensive. It was like $90. But
I would say that.
He's waiting for the return of the $2,000 Damascus Steel Game of Thrones sword.
Oh yeah,
that he wanted to pull the trigger on last year.
Yeah, I was actually contemplating buying a $2,000.
Oh my god,
that's so crazy!
$2,000.
I would have yelled,
"Saeed, what are you doing?"
But one of the reasons why this happened, which is also a reason I wanted to bring up for me personally, why it was a little different Otakon experience, is because I was a little sick during Otakon, so I got my own hotel.
Your own bathtub?
And that was kind of dope. I'm not gonna lie, my own hotel room. that Friday night where I bought the onesie after the radio concert, I decided to go back to my hotel room. And
yep.
I rested a little bit, put the onesie on. It was a good time. It was a good time. Just run myself in the hotel.
Oh man, laid in the bathtub for a little bit.
Oh yeah, that was the first time me using a bathtub. I do take showers. Don't
you do bathe.
Bathtub. Yeah, I shower, bathe, whatever. But laying down in a bathtub. I did that, on Saturday.
I don't think we even touched on how Wes brought in the what was that game we played at the hotel?
Ultimate Werewolf, where we got a noise complaint.
We played too late, but yeah.
Yeah, we got loud when we were playing. There's no offense.
Yeah, I couldn't even trust my own wife.
Alicia
couldn't even
was
trust
playing.
my own wife.
Yo, you couldn't trust Alicia, but I'm on it again.
Dude,
bring it back to that
this
man.
Is like this man is
he
the
was playing
definition
Sneaky
of
too.
that anime character wearing the glasses that has like that sheen.
He wears glasses.
Just hit you with that, like, oh, are you sure you want to do that? I don't know.
So, not anime related, but for people out there that haven't heard of or played this game, it's called One Night Ultimate Werewolf. Pretty much everybody gets a role. You don't know what the other people's roles are. Amongst your group, there are a set amount of werewolves. They're the only ones who know who the other werewolves are. And the whole goal is, if you're not a werewolf, you need to work with everyone else to figure out who the werewolf is. But if you are a werewolf, you have to kind of lie and try to undermine the people that aren't werewolves in order to get everyone to vote for a non-werewolf. So at the end of whatever time limit you set, there's a vote. If a werewolf is voted out, the non-werewolves win. You've killed the werewolf. If a non-werewolf is voted out, the werewolves win because you just killed a villager. And there are some wrinkles with certain player roles, but for the most part, that's the way the game goes.
It's kind of like Mafia.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot like Mafia. It's kind of like Secret Hitler. But it got heated.
Heated enough for us to get a noise complaint.
A noise complaint.
It's not like it was super late. It's not like it was super late either. It was only like 10:30 when we were playing.
Yeah. But that leads us to, after we got the noise complaint, we all went to the rave.
Mm-hmm.
And last year, our complaint about the rave was that the music was whack. Because it was one dude playing pretty much that Powerpuff Girls beat the whole time.
No, that was 2 years ago.
Oh no, this was 2 years ago. That was 2 years ago. Last year was still a little whack, though.
Yeah, because they were focused on beat-heavy music only, like no vocal music.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So I would almost say
add EDM.
This year was kind of the opposite of that, where they had a lot of really good songs.
Right.
Like, there was a moment where they played the Pokemon theme song, and everyone at this place was just singing the Pokemon theme song. But they could only play like 30 seconds of each song, and his transitions and his drops were horrible.
They could have been
so
a lot
bad.
better.
Some of them were hard to deal with.
Yeah, if you kept the regular song drops, it would have been fine. But
so
I think the funniest thing was we were at the rave, and I think we had just gotten there, and everyone's like kind of dancing a little bit, and Demetrius pulls out his phone, they film on a snap, and I'm just on my phone with the worst
yeah, like raving.
You could tell I was like, get me out of here.
That was the mood. Also, they're not 18 and up anymore, which kind of kills it.
In a way, I think they should. I mean, but you think back to the first one though you went to, that was clearly 18 and up. You needed a badge, and it was wild. There was restrictions still, but they were people like most of the guards and security, like these are grown adults.
Right.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, the first one too, it was 18 and up. They had like a little bar where you could buy alcohol or some sort of drinks or something.
Yeah.
If you had your ID on you.
You could buy drinks. I'm not sure if they were alcoholic or not.
Hey man,
not
get
to
lit off
mention
of that.
that poor girl almost got crushed when that movie dropped and everyone collapsed in.
What song was that? Was that Mo Bamba?
Maybe
it definitely was Mo Bamba.
Yeah, because me and Amanda rushed to the center when that came out.
So they played Mo Bamba, and this huge circle formed around this one little girl out of nowhere. And by little girl, I mean she was probably like
maybe like 5 feet.
Yeah, maybe like 5 feet. Little height wise. Yeah. Little height wise. And she like had people rush her out of it because it was a big circle. And as she was coming out, she was just like, I'm not big enough for this. I'm not big enough for this.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, okay. Kind of killed.
And there was a mini Congo line that was going, and they quickly broke that up. Me and Amon were disappointed.
I don't know what their problem with that is. Come on.
It could have gotten big. It could have got huge.
Come on now, guys. Come on. But
you were guys saying in the past that they allowed for that, right?
They'd let it get big at least before they broke it up.
And then they destroy it. Yeah,
That was the year Harambe was
Maybe because there
was
is
amongst us.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, it might be because
they had just started forming the day circles around when we left again, and that was last year's big thing with the Amana doing his shuffle, and I copied him, and it's a good time, but it was just. I think we were all tired by that point after walking 20,000 steps.
Dude, I'm getting old, man. That was my knees were hurting.
Yeah.
My back was hurting.
We felt it.
Mm-hmm. There were some. Shout out to the people in our group that were like bundles of energy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Killing it. I do have one more highlight I want to mention because I know they're going to be listening. Shout out to on the very last day before we all left. Amanat was there. Saeed was there. I was there. Demetrius unfortunately flown away. Then it was Brett, our buddy Mike Pop, and our buddy Turek. And our buddy Turek, Zachary Hill Turek, thank you for your service, had bought a box of XY Evolutions Pokemon cards.
Oh, yeah.
And he really wanted the reprint holographic Charizard. I'd pulled it when it first came out. It had been evading him for forever.
I had the magic touch.
Saeed had the magic touch, blowing vape smoke on packs of Pokemon cards.
Sneaking a jewel.
No, it wasn't even a sneak. He'd hardcore taken it in the
in the art room.
Oh yeah, in the art room.
The game room either. It was a good place to recharge.
But the very absolute last pack of the box, we had gotten some really good pulls of Pokemon cards, and boxes are seeded, so you get X amount of types of cards at least. The very last pack, our buddy Mike Pop opens it up. He's going card by card, but he's holding them to himself so he can't see it. And his eyes just get really, really wide. And this man is like, yo, you said you wanted the Holo Charizard, right? And he had BS'd us before. Like, he'd be like, I got it, but then really he shows it and it's not it. So we were like,
And he's a BS king. Keep that in mind.
Yeah. Yeah, he's really good at it. So we were like, oh man, like, I bet this isn't it. And then he's like, is it the one with like holographic on the back? And we're like, yeah. And he's like, is it the one with 150 HP? And we're like, there is absolutely no way the last pack of this box of 36 packs had a holographic Charizard in it. And he puts it down, and it's the holographic Charizard, and our room erupted.
Wow.
You could have written it better.
That was right before we Ubered away, too. So that was like the last thing that we did. It was a great ending.
The minute he said, does it have 158 HP, I was like, oh wow, he actually just pulled this. There's no way Pop would know that.
Yeah, he's not knowing HP values of the Pokemon cards.
No offense, Pop, love you.
There's no way. There's no way. But that was a great way to end it. To end our Otakon weekend. Sprinkled in things we didn't mention. We did like game room stuff. I know you guys played Settlers of Catan, Brett, Turk, and Pop. Couple guys played Time Crisis. Demetrius put in the work in Tekken.
Played some Tekken. I got the work put on me.
Nah, you got this is the thing. It was rigged. I'm going to defend my boy right here. His controller like wasn't working. Like, it was broken. Even the people after him were like, it was broken.
And even
like his story.
Yeah, no, that's what it sounds like. But even on my own controllers, because I used to play Tekken a lot, there's ones that you can tell that I've played, and after a while, like the certain buttons won't work, certain combos that I really like just won't work. Like the last clincher, just I can't get out the last circle or the last backdash.
Yeah, so he put the work in. The controller was messed up. Other people were complaining about it too.
No,
and then also, there's just really always one guy.
Really good.
Yeah, there's just always one dude that sits down and runs a video game station. Like, there's always that one person, and unfortunately, he was there, hitting Tekken up. So, any last thoughts? Any last thoughts, boys, before we sign off here?
There's just one thing I wanted to ask you guys quick. If it was just me and my first con experience, or if it's like something that happens to you guys every time. On the way home, do you guys get this strange feeling of like euphoria?
I'll go first, and I will say there is like a feeling when you kind of leave a convention, because it is, for me personally, it's an awesome experience Saeed always says it's like Halloween Town, where it's just so different from everything else with people in costume and memes are normalized and people spending way too much money on things and going and meeting with people that generally like this same almost niche or niche type of hobby you have. There is always a feeling when I leave a convention, I get this sense of relief over me for a little bit because I'm like, okay, I can unpack all the stuff I bought. I don't have to worry about walking around anymore. I can relax because as relaxing it is a lot of walking. It is a lot of coordinating stuff, that type of deal. So I always do get this sense of relief, but that's always kind of followed up by this sense of, man, it's really done, huh? Like that's the end of it.
Yeah. I kind of get bummed too. But I mean, on the way, so I left. Unfortunately, I didn't get to stay all of Sunday this time, but I left Saturday and the Sunday morning. I left the hotel probably at 4 a.m, and me and my wife flew back. But even then, big oof, not doing that again. Getting too old for this. Even on the way back, even though I was dead tired, I was just like, really happy and just thinking like, I'm really glad this happened. I'm really glad to meet everybody that came down for the first time. Really good to see Wes, Saeed, Abonnet, Adil, everybody again. And I think the beautiful thing about a con, especially when you go with people that you really like, people that you kind of grew up with, friends, is a sense of belonging. And then going away from that is, you smile and you're happy that it happened, but at the same time you get a little bummed.
Yeah, especially because look behind the scenes. Again, Saeed and I are lucky enough that we live pretty close to each other, so we can hang out on weekends. But shout out to the boy Demetrius for making it out so consistently, because he lives in a completely different state. Like behind the scenes, we record this all over the internet in different areas. So it's always good to see one of our best friends from high school, and even after high school, just getting better and better. Great to see him again. Great to see his wife again. It's one of those things where, like you said, the sense of belonging is
much
really
appreciated.
Yeah,
much love.
Just hanging out with it's a good feeling. And after it ends, I'm like,
Yeah.
And that's the reason why I asked. I remember driving home and I was in like Maryland or something. And out of nowhere, I just got this like, that was so sick. Like I remember texting Wes being like, dude, thank you. I don't think I've had a weekend like this that made me this genuinely happy in so long. And then I was like, just make sure everyone else knows that like, thank you for welcoming in the rest of us, because I know we all felt at home with you guys the entire weekend.
Yeah, no problem. I had a lot of fun with you guys too.
Yeah, we were super glad to have you, and it's definitely a good time. So, like I say, you guys are always welcome to come back.
Yeah, it was Otakon for the ages. Just getting started. Again, Katsucon is coming up.
I had the dates up too.
Oh, you had the dates up.
It's it's 4 days, right?
Yeah. It tends to be 4 days, because technically Otakon is
4 days too. It's on Thursday.
Yeah, well, either way, Katsucon 2020, February 13th through Sunday.
This man is ready.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm in, dude.
Usually, to my memory, I think it falls in line that Monday is a President's Day holiday, so it works good for me since I work with the government. I get the day off.
I have to drive back to the Northeast. Hopefully not.
Are you a Area 51 guard, Saeed?
Oh yeah, Area 51 guard, dude.
That meme died hard.
It did. It went away really, really fast, but it's still in my heart.
I'm ready to Naruto run the gates.
Mm-hmm.
Our boys, Hop and Turk will be defending the gates.
Oh no, dude! We have to have them be our inside men, because it is an Air Force base.
Thinking about storming Area 51. Please don't hurt my friend.
Oh yeah.
And on that note, everyone, with the Naruto running and the Otakon stories aside, thank you for listening. Look forward to our next podcast. Thank you to our guest. Oh, one more thing.
Even though we were giving Amonit a lot of crap, he's still one of the greatest ones we got.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to the boy.
Shout out to you. Much love.
He's really helped coordinate. He's really helped coordinate a lot of our stuff.
Saeed straight up sound like Patrick and SpongeBob. I love you.
I love you.
Oh man. Yeah, he's helped coordinate a lot of the stuff, a lot of the getting the convention tradition started. So shout out him on it. But with the stories aside, we got a Naruto run out of here. Like we're going to Area 51, bring the meme back. Look forward to maybe some Katsucon podcasts next year, February 2020. We hit the date up. Thank you to our good old guest Brett for not only coming to Otakon, making the trip, but being able to make this podcast.
Boys, thanks again for having me. It was a blast.
Of course. And Saeed, you know what to hit him with.
To be continued.
Peace.
Bebop don't stop.
But I wasn't grown up.